Daiwa hits us with a brand new lineup of Steez. Megabass brings back a classic to get in the minnow shaking game. And could this be the best bladed jig ever made? This is what's new this week at the Hookup Tackle. Welcome back, my friends. I am Ben with the Hookup Tackle, the Tackle Otaku on Instagram, being joined this beautiful Sunday morning by my buddy David. David, happy Sunday to you.
Happy Sunday, sir.
Today is the greatest date on the calendar that happens all year, August the 3rd.
Ooh.
What a beautiful day. It is my birthday today.
Happy birthday, sir.
Cheers, my
Cheers.
friends. This is actually, as far as I can remember now, I'm getting a little old, 39. Catches up to me. This is the first time I've actually been able to share my birthday on a What's New episode.
No way.
Yeah, so just the way it's worked out. So cheers to you guys. I get to hang out and have my birthday party here at the Hookup Tackle during the What's New video. So I'm going to do a little special birthday thing, but first I need some beer. It is my birthday after all. So cheers to beer number one today. Cheers to you, my friends. All right, shall we talk about my birthday? So gifts are customary. What did you get me?
You know,
I'll tell you what. Save it. Give me something next week.
I got you.
Yeah,
I got you.
Yeah. So I'm gonna flip it around. So instead of me getting the gifts, I'm gonna give the gifts. So here we go. For Ben's birthday, it's gonna be today only. We are going to do a free gift card with purchase. So what we're gonna do is we're basically gonna do a 20% kind of number. We've done this before. So you spend $100, I'm going to give you a $20 gift card for free. Spend $200, I'm going to give you a $40 gift card. $300, $60, so on and so forth, all the way up to spend $1,000, get a $200 gift card back on me. So my gift to you guys to say thank you for your business and thank you for your support and thank you for the community and being here to share my birthday. Where's my family? My wife's not here. My kids aren't here. You guys are here. So, cheers. By the way, if this is the first time you've watched one of our videos, buckle up. Welcome. This is What's New this week at the Hookup Tackle. We're going to highlight some very cool new products, talk about some restocks. But this week, a bunch of new products that we featured in our JDM Experience new product showcase have landed. And so you're going to want to pay attention to a lot of these because you're going to want to scoop them up if you can. So one more sip and it's tackle time, baby. All right, here we go. Let's start with Megabass. If you are a longtime Megabass fan, then you are going to remember this. If you are new to Megabass, this is going to be something that is maybe a little bit new to you, but this is the return of the 5-inch Sling Shad from Megabass. Now, this is a bait that Megabass brought to the market about the same time as the Sakamata Shad. And I mention the Sakamata Shad because the Sling Shad is made at the same factory as the Sakamata, same plastic, right, which is a proven plastic. It's going to have a slightly different action. So where this differs a little bit from the Sakamata, this is a little shorter body. It's a little more hollow underneath, a little bit longer tail, right, a little softer fork. So it's going to have just a little bit different strolling action. Of course, it was built originally to be more of a fluke style bait, put on a jig head or use it as a weedless style fluke. You can use it as a trailer as well. It's a great chatterbait trailer, spinnerbait trailer. But of course, this whole trend with, forward-facing sonar and jig head minnow stuff has got this whole, minnow craze going. So Megabass brought it back and they brought some new colors to life as well. So I'm going to walk through all of this with you. Now, I anticipate the Sling Shad sticking around for a while. I think this is going to become something over the next couple of years that becomes more of a core item. I can tell you that the entire first production is gone. Okay, so I think I have a lot of it, but when it's gone, we're probably not going to see a restock at least for several months, right? So I would pick them up if it speaks to you. I know a lot of you guys are in the middle of season, but if you need something or want something to be in your boat this fall, this is the time to get it. So you're looking at the color Ablette, Okay, this is a color that used to be just a France exclusive that now is here in the US. So this is a color that kind of comes from the Mag Draft, but it looks totally different in the Sling Shad. So a nice little shad color. There is Golden Shiner, pretty straightforward. There is G Wahigai, which actually looks amazing. There is Light Green Pearl, another good flaky one. There is Tinsel Brown. There is G Bluegill. There is Oikawa. How about a French Pearl? Okay, pretty straightforward, but obviously that's going to be a great color. There's Ahasu, Wakasagi. Get all these to slip down. Ayu. That was kind of their best color before when they had it, so it's good to see that one come back. And then Pro Blue Shad. Okay, so there are the colors. 6.2 a pack, $9.99 a pack. And again, those are available right now from Megabass. So enjoy. Sling Shads are in. All right, let's jump into a brand new product from our friends at Teckel. Now, if you've hung out around the shop, you know that we're all huge fans of the Teckel Max Squeaker Buzzbait. It's pretty much the starting point for all of us. We asked Hideki, and it didn't take a lot of convincing, maybe just 1.5 beers, to make a pup version, and they have arrived. Okay, so for you guys that like a little smaller buzzbait, a little more finesse, but still want it to have all the same features as the original, the brand new Max Squeaker Pup is here. So we are doing this in the same 7 colors as the full size. I will walk through those with you here in a minute. We just open this one out of package here. All right, so those of you who are fans of the Max Squeaker, you can see the size difference there between the full-size Max Squeaker and the Max Squeaker Pup. The full-size Max Squeaker is a traditional 1/2 ounce buzzbait. The new Pup is going to be a 3/8 ounce buzzbait. It casts great. We prototyped this with Hideki over the last couple of years. I've watched him catch a lot of big fish. He's been posting on the Teckel page all week. Some great fish catches, but the blade size reduces, the head size reduces, but it performs exactly the same. You still get that large hook back there, still has the trailer keeper, the cut skirt, you still have that knocker on the head, right, that does many things. The first thing it does, if you leave it out of package, as this blade goes, it knocks and creates kind of a knocking sound. Of course, you can flex that blade up and have more of just a squeaky sound. And the squeak is built in from the rivet that sits in the middle of the shaft versus the end of the shaft. So it's squeaky right out of package, and weeds just tend to go right off. So this is going to give you a much more stealthy approach to your buzzbait fishing than the full size. And again, it's going to come in 7 colors. You're looking at black gold here. It comes in the shad, comes in the chartreuse and white, it comes in the bluegill, comes in a solid black, black blue, and white. Okay. Now we're going to do something kind of a little different than normal when we drop baits like this. We're going to do it probably just be able to do it today and tomorrow. Just based on inventory. $17.99 is the price on these, but we are going to offer a bulk bundle option. Okay, so kind of carrying over from what we did last week. It's always a lot of fun for us. If there's one color in specific, like let's say you like black and gold and that's the only color you throw, if you want a 4-pack of them, it's going to save you about 25 to 30%. So it's a good way to pick them up. So if you're a color specific guy, grab the bulk bundle deal and buy 4 and you'll save some cash. Okay, so you can do it either way. So there you go. The Max Squeaker Pup from Teckel. Those are available right now. All right, let's jump over to what me and my staff are debating could potentially be the best bladed jig that we've ever thrown. This is a brand new, kind of the official offering. We did a light drop of this, kind of late last year, but the official drop of the OSP Metal Blade Jig is here. Now these are going to be available in 2 sizes, a 3/8 ounce and a 1/2 ounce. And I should note, if any of you guys pre-ordered any of the items that we're talking about today, they should have shipped already. Okay, so they should be on the way, so your tracking should be attached to your order, and thank you guys very much for the pre-order, so you guys will be the first ones to get your hands on. Okay, back to this guy. Usually when we talk about a blade jig, a chatterbait, right, the jackhammer kind of owns the conversation, and this is an amazing one, and probably the staple in all of our boxes. But the OSP Metal Blade Jig allows us to fish a little bit differently and do things in a little bit different way, and I wanted to break it down for you so you can really see the difference between those two. So I'm going to open this guy up real quick, and I'm going to show you all the things. Okay, so here is a look at the OSP Metal Blade Jig. So, you know, the basic build of it is very similar to, you know, a traditional, you know, jackhammer or chatterbait. It has that direct connect. It has a little bit different head. So you've got a little bit wider head, and this is important to note, and you have a little bit different connection. You'll notice how far that blade is capable of traveling on that pivot, and that's very important to note. When you look at a traditional jackhammer, you have just that very small little piece, right? And one of the challenges to a jackhammer is if you guys are fishing around wood or rocks or anything like that, you know how snaggy these can be, right? And that's because if it hits a piece of wood, it's just kind of stuck and the whole thing kind of rolls and you snag. If you're fishing around vegetation, I think the jackhammer is going to always be the best option. But if you guys are fishing around timber, wood, anything that tends to be a little snaggy with a traditional chatterbait, the OSP Metal Blade Jig comes through that unbelievably well. And the biggest reason for that is because that blade has the opportunity to pivot so far on that head. Now, to just kind of reinforce it, there's also a weed guard back here. Okay, so you've got basically two options. You've got that weed guard to prevent it from rolling and that blade, and it just lets you fish this way incredibly effectively. Now, for trailers, we've used quite a few. The HP Fish is kind of the go-to trailer in Japan. This is how most guys are throwing it. It works great on the back of it. The DoLive Stick Spec 2 and non-salt and the 4.5 is the other one that I would recommend. Of course, you could throw your traditional Zaccos or Death Adders or whatever you guys like back there. But both the DoLive Stick and the HP Fish work great on that guy. It does have your traditional, you know, bait keepers on the back of that hook. It is a Gamakatsu hook on the back, but there's also this little hole back here that you guys will notice that's very similar to some of the swim jigs that OSP makes as well. And this is a toothpick hole. It's kind of an old school way of doing things, but if you guys are skipping, right? So if you're skipping docks, if you're skipping underneath trees, and you're really abusing your plastics and your plastics are starting to tear, what you do with this is you could thread your plastic on, and then you send it through, right, and attach it, and then you run a toothpick through where that hole was, and that will anchor it to the bait. So now you can skip it and it's anchored on there and won't tear off of your hook. So you're going to use a lot less trailers and you'll keep the whole rig together just like that. Okay, so 3/8 and 1/2 ounce. There is a new 1/4 ounce size that is almost completed that we should see probably in the next 30-45 days for you guys that like small ones. So I'm just going to run through the colors. There's a vivid pearl white, which I have in my hands. There is a full black. There's a chartreuse and blue, which I love with the gold blade. This is going to be a killer, like in Alabama, Tennessee. You guys know. There's a red black, which is pretty much like a fire craw. There is a golden shiner. There's a black blue. There's a chartreuse and white. There's a green pumpkin shad. And I dropped my green pumpkin and a green. Okay. So there you go. All the colors available. Now we're going to do the same thing that we just did on the Squeaker Pup. These are all available for individual purchase. So $17.99. By the way, I don't know if you guys noticed, but the jackhammer has jumped up to $19.99 recently. So, you know, tariffs starting to take effect in so many things. So $17.99 on the Metal Blade Jig, or we're going to give you a bulk bundle option. These come in 3 to a pack. And again, it'll save you 25-30%. So if you guys only throw green pumpkin, or you know, you want to just grab 3 1/2 ounce green pumpkins, do the bulk bundle deal and it'll save you guys some cash. So yeah, enjoy. There you go. Metal Blade Jig from OSP, available now. All right, I'm really excited about this next segment because we have an official launch of a brand new brand here in the USA. Many of you guys that are super fans of JDM tackle, if you know back to the early days of Lucky Craft, Mrs. Sagawa and Seiji Kato founded Lucky Craft, and Seiji Kato was instrumental in building many of the items. They split. Seiji Kato went on to found Jackal and build many of the things in Jackal. He later sold Jackal fairly recently, and he started his new brand, Revonic. Okay, so Revonic is officially launched here in the USA as of today. Now, Seiji Kato is based at Lake Biwa. Everything that you're going to see here is made at Lake Biwa. And there's some really, really cool features to a lot of these baits. Obviously, he is a master of lure building. So I'm going to walk through and spend a little bit of time to make sure you understand some of the intricacies of this. Of course, you can go back to our JDM Experience episode as well if you want to dig in deeper. And if you pre-ordered any of these, they did ship to you before this episode. So enjoy those. So the first bait that we are dropping is his new lipless bait, and that is called the Volbeat. Okay, so the Volbeat is available in a floating and a sinking. It's available in two different sizes, a 60 millimeter and a 70 millimeter, okay? So it has a really nice kind of one knocker sound, okay? It is built with the idea of having perfect posture all the time. So it's going to constantly be in this horizontal posture. So if it's a lift and drop, it's going to have a shimmy fall the whole time. If you're banging around cover, it's also designed to bang around cover, rip out of something, and then have a shimmy fall back down. It's all kind of centrally weighted here in the belly. Now, if you guys are fishing around a lot of snags, I demonstrated this on our video a couple weeks ago, but the Volbeat also comes with a little bit of a brush guard, okay? And there's a little slit in the front of the nose there, and that brush guard can be inserted inside, and you just kind of push it in, and then it locks in place, and it kind of creates a little bit of a crank lip. It's not going to affect the action at all. It's just going to give you one more thing to deflect it off rock or wood to, you know, further eliminate snagging if you guys are liking to drag it on the bottom. Like out here, we fish a lipless a lot of times where we just kind of drag it on the bottom, right? And obviously if you're dragging treble hook baits, you're going to snag it quite a bit. This will prevent a lot of that from happening. So a very, very cool feature. So we're going to start here in the USA with 4 colors. Now again, there's a sinking model. It's going to be a traditional lipless. There is also a floating model. So you guys that fish around a lot of cover or maybe from shore that aren't normally throwing a lipless because it just sinks and snags too much, the floating is going to be a real fun one for you, okay? So it's kind of a similar float to like a square bill. Okay, so you can kind of get it in stuff and then pause, and it's going to kind of float back up. So you're going to have great cover deflection. You're going to be able to really control the depth with it. So 2 different choices. So 4 colors total. Okay, there's a bluegill that I'm holding in my hand. And by the way, all the packaging is in these kind of really cool boxes. So it's unique packaging, something kind of cool and different, right? Okay, so you got bluegill. You have crawdad. Okay, just kind of a traditional kind of spring craw type color. Okay. Dark Night Pearl, okay, which is, of course, I'm a sucker for anything white, so I'm going this way, but a nice, just beautiful kind of pearl shad color. And you have Noiki Gill, which is a little bit more of a body bluegill, okay, a little bit more golds and orange in that guy. Be a great perch color as well, okay. So 4 colors. Once the brand kind of fully rolls out, we'll be able to expand those colors for you guys, and yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes. But there you go, the brand new Volbeat from Revonic is in stock now. Now, if you guys have been following Revonic at all on social media, then you know that the other bait that he's been making a lot of waves with is this guy right here, and this is the Shindy. So this is his jerkbait concept. It's available in 2 different sizes. So I have a Shindy 110 in my hand, as well as a Shindy 94. Okay, so the 110 is going to be obviously 110 millimeters, a little more than half an ounce. The 94 is 94 millimeters, about 11 grams, so kind of in between the 3/8 and the half ounce. Now, what makes a Shindy special is obviously you know, when you buy a jerk bait, you expect it to move when you twitch it side to side. And of course, this bait is going to do that, right? It has a very unique action and a very lively action because similar to like an OSP honeycomb structure, he's kind of gone with a thinner walled structure that's reinforced with a skeleton inside. Okay, so what that does is it allows the bait to move incredibly well. It's a thin lip, so it's going to have that kind of nice, almost that Vision 110 type of action where it's going to have almost 2-in-1 movement. But where the Shindy really differentiates itself is with its weighting system, and this is a jerkbait that's designed to continue to move on the paws. Usually with jerkbaits, you twitch and the bait moves and then it sits there and either suspends or floats or sinks. This is a bait that's going to move and it's going to continue to shimmy side to side as it moves because of how the weight is situated on the bait. It's going to keep it slightly off balance so it continues to have that kind of side to side movement. So for you guys that are having a lot of fish that are following your bait, if you're live scope fishing, right, this is going to give you an opportunity to kind of twitch it and then allow it to continue to move when you're not doing anything, just creating a different look and a different movement to them. So in both sizes, in the 110 and the 94, and I brought all the colors out here, and the colors, you can go through them, they're all pretty clean, right? So there's anywhere from your traditional like Wakasagi patterns to, you know, sexy shad patterns. There's some matte finishes, you know, there's some clown patterns, right? It's all across the board, okay? So you guys can play with the colors. But in both models, there's an SF model, which is a slow float model. So that's going to be similar to, say, something like an Vision 110, okay? Where it pauses and then it's going to slowly float back up, okay? There's also a super shallow model, okay? And the super shallow model has a very, very thin, small, almost a square bill-esque bill, okay? I'll take this one out so you guys can see it, and I'll compare it side to side with the other one. Okay, there's the super shallow. So you can see how small that lip is right there. Very, very small lip compared to the traditional. So the super shallow is designed to literally stay super shallow. 1 to 3 feet is really the target. If you're going light line, you might get it down to 4, but this is going to be an amazing one. As you guys know, the 110 SR has been very popular. If you're fishing in really thin water, over vegetation, anything like that, this could be a great option. Has the same internal weighting. You're going to get the same kind of shimmy on the paws. You're still going to get the movement, but then the whole key to the Shindy is that kind of shimmy on the paws. So enjoy it. I think you guys are going to catch a ton of fish on this. The new Shindy in both sizes, the 94 and the 110 from Revonic, in stock now. All right, just to wrap up Revonic and kind of round it all out, there's a few other baits that will start to become more and more available. These are going to be very difficult to get your hands on for now, so if these speak to you, scoop them up quick. They're going to sell out, and then it's going to be a little bit of time still before we can get production fully up. Okay, so there is the Revonic walking bait called the Zenda. Now this is the Zenda Loud, okay, which tells me there's going to be a Zenda Quiet on the way as well. Only a few colors in this guy. It's about 100 millimeters. It's about 5/8 of an ounce. It is built as their walking bait. It's a tall bait, so it's going to have a lot of flashing as it moves. It does have that loud kind of dual knocking system, I would say. So it's back weighted, so it's going to sit really low. The idea of the Zenda is that it's going to walk, but also possibly dive subsurface as well. Okay, so you're going to get, you know, some side to side. It might go up, it might go down. It's going to be an erratic, really, really good moving bait. That's the Zenda. There's also the Saramoa, which is becoming, I would say, one of the most sought after square bills in Japan. So it is a flat side shad style crankbait. It has a wider lip than normal and really designed at dead walking. Okay, so you can throw and cast this and just swim it around, and it's great. It's weighted internally in the front, so it's going to have this natural kind of head down position. And if you twitch your rod tip or move, it's easier with the rod twitch than your reel, but you can do it either way. It's going to dead walk just like a larger swim bait would. It's a really, really good one. You guys will love that. Again, availability is going to be tough on this guy because it is so popular domestically in Japan, but there are some available now. And then finally, there is a popping bait called the Mogot. Mogot comes in two different versions. It comes in a free version and it comes in a pop and dog version. Okay, so know that going into it. Okay, the difference is the pop and dog is rear weighted. Okay, so it's going to be more of like your traditional popper where the weight's going to be in the back here. You can just pop it and it's going to go right back to that position, or you can just kind of walk it side to side. It's built to have side to side movement. There is flow through water holes on both sides of the gill plate. So when you do get it moving as a walking bait, it's going to have a similar kind of movement to something like a pencil popper with the way it's weighted. The other version is the Mogot Free, is going to be the same shape, same weighting, everything's the same, only instead of anchoring that weight in the back, they're allowing it to have free reign of the entire bait. Okay, so that weight shifts all the way to the front, all the way to the back, depending on how you move it. Okay, so when it lands, right, it's going to land and it's going to sit the same, and if you just do light movements, it's going to probably have that same kind of movement as the pop and dog. But if you give it more erratic movements, that weight's going to have a chance to shift and you're just going to get more erratic look, right? So it's going to go down a little bit more. It's going to move a little bit different side to side because that weight is shifting and throwing it off balance. So it's just a concept, right? You might prefer this one over the other, but it'd be something that might be fun for you guys to play with if you guys are popper fans. So there you go. The new Mogot from Revonic, those are also in stock now. All right, let's jump over to Deps. Some new items from Deps in a new color that's exciting. Let's start with a new item. Just what everybody needed, another bug bait. It's here. Okay, so the Deps Wiggle Bug is here. Now, bug baits have started to actually trend. Okay, the whole idea of dice rubbers and things with legs is kind of bringing bug baits back. They were built to look like a bug in Japan, where you fish them on the top, and you can certainly do that with this guy. But where this guy has been really, really effective is on a drop shot. So you put it on a drop shot, set it down, and all those legs kind of quiver on the way down, drives them nuts. Okay, so there you go. It's in 6 colors, from greens to, whites, all the usual suspects. But the Wiggle Bug from Deps is in. There's also a brand new size of the MS Craw. Okay, so this is the new 3.6 inch size of MS Craw. The MS Craw has been available previously, but only in a smaller size. Let me open one of these up for you. So the new 3.6 inch size just enlarges everything. It lengthens everything out here. So the smaller one is really great as like a little Ned bait or small little finesse jig trailer. Now that you have the 3.6 inch size, you have enough body where you can flip it, you can punch it, you can Texas rig it, free rig it is great. It has a lot of action on the front, and it has that longer body with those little quivering legs there. So again, just a good all-around craw bait from Deps. That's the MS Craw 3.6. There's also a small little restock across the board on Sakamatas, especially in the bigger sizes like the 8-inch, the 7-inch, which is probably going to evaporate out before I even say anything. There's also a new 3-inch size up there. Very, very low quantities. Okay, I'm just letting you guys know, I'm not advertising it, but if you've been waiting, those are up there. And then how about a brand new color in the Deps Bull Flat? Now this lands in the 3.8 and the 3-inch. It will be coming in the larger sizes as well, but this is the brand new Indy Gill color. Okay, so Indy Soggy was a color that Chris over at Indy Fishing made for Deps not too long ago. That was a big hit, and so they did a beautiful little bluegill pattern this time in it. So you've got the kind of the traditional bluegill-ish color and flake with that core shot of that chartreuse, kind of giving you just all the bluegill-esque colors. Bull flat, of course, kind of the OG bluegill profile bait. We all love it here. The 3-inch and 3/8 are amazing on a free rig, on a little light drop shot, you know, light Texas rig, that kind of stuff. So if that color speaks to you, it's a beautiful color. So good job, Chris, on that. We also see a restock across the board in a bunch of colors that have been hard to get in the bull flats. Again, these are gonna be primarily in the 3/8 size, which is a good universal size. The larger ones should be coming back kind of early to mid fall. Okay, so there you go. Good week this week from Deps. All right, let's jump over really quick and talk about Ima. Ima, as we mentioned in the JDM new product showcase, doing some new colors across the board this year, and some of them are starting to land. So the Little Stick in 3 new colors. We have an albino color now, we have a Chattahoochee Chrome, and we have a Ghost Sexy Shad in the Little Stick. We have those same 3 colors in the Ima Skimmer. Now, we got them in the Grande a few weeks ago. This is going to be in the regular Ima Skimmer. The Ima Skimmer is a great one. It's just a good all-around 110 millimeter, 3/8 ounce, easy to move top water. Just has a little bit different action from traditional ones. And then we also have new colors in the Ima Big Stick. There's a new Hatchery Trout. There's a Chattahoochee Chrome. There's a Ghost Sexy Shad. There's a Misty Shad, and there's a Mackerel. Okay, and this is going the opposite direction from the skimmer. This is 170 millimeters, 50 grams, so almost a 2 ounce, big, heavy, really loud pencil popper. Just a very popular one for, especially for striper guys. So there you go. New colors all the way across the board now in Ima Topwater, all available now. All right, let's jump over and let's talk Daiwa. We got new rods and new reels from Daiwa this week. And again, it's my birthday, so take advantage. If any of these speak to you, scoop them up. You know, we're doing that gift card promo. So, you know, spend $300-400, get $60-80 back in a gift card on me. Okay, so here we go, flying through this. The brand new Luvias ST in stock. Okay, this is the brand new release from Daiwa. It's the brand new Luvias. It's got the full air drive design. This is touted as the lightest spinning reel that Daiwa USA has ever offered. Okay, so it's even lighter than an Exist. They did that several different ways. They have the new body design. They took mag seal out. So if mag seal is something that's super important to you guys, this is not going to be your reel. If mag seal is not a big deal, mag seal is basically that magnetic oil that sits inside that prevents any water from leaking in. A super important thing if you guys are fishing saltwater, brackish water, you know, any of those types of things. If you're primarily just, you know, light duty freshwater, this could be an incredible option for you. So the 2500 size, which I have in my hands, is actually sitting on a 2000 frame, so it's really compact. There's also a 2000 size that sits on a 1000 frame. Okay, so they're small, they're compact, they're perfect for some of those lighter duty rods. A lot of you guys are getting 6'1", 6'3", 6'5", 6'7" rods, whether it's for strolling or little light cast. This could be a perfect reel for that. Okay, so there you go. The brand new Luvias from Daiwa are in stock now. Staying on Daiwa, a revamp of one of our favorites around the store, and a customer favorite is the Coastal T-Wing, now in the 200. Okay, so the Coastal T-Wing 200. This has the whole new hyperdrive design in it. They've toned down a lot of the gaudiness. It's now this kind of really beautiful, kind of almost two-tone bluish gray color. And they've gone with just the crazy blue hit on the spool and a little bit on the handle. This is a great option. This is going to incorporate that LC spool concept, so designed for long cast, right? So it's going to hold a lot of line. It's built as a coastal reel, meaning it's built more for like brackish inshore water if you guys are fishing snook, redfish, that kind of stuff. But a lot of freshwater guys love this reel as a swim bait reel, as a deep crank reel, because it's built to withstand abuse, and it has that deeper spool so it can hold a lot of line. If you guys want to run a bunch of 16-pound or a bunch of 20, it has the capacity. Just to spec it for you, just so you know, 20-pound, it holds 150 yards. Okay, so it can hold plenty of line, and with the hyperdrive design, it's going to be pretty bulletproof. It has the larger handles already and grips, so it's a really, really good option. Even if you're not fishing in coastal waters, it can be a great option for you guys. It just needs something a little bit beefier. Okay, so there you go. 2 new reels: the Luvias on the spinning side and the Coastal T-Wing 200 on the casting side. By the way, both righty and lefty, and the baitcaster, so those are available now. All right, I'm really excited about this one, and I'm really curious to see where this goes. This is the brand new 2025 Daiwa Steez. Okay, now it was not that long ago, only maybe 5-6 weeks ago, that I sat here kind of complaining that the new tariff structure and the pricing was causing a lot of Daiwa rods to kind of go through the roof in pricing, especially the Steez AGS, which has been one of my favorites, going to 700, 750. So when Daiwa announced, don't worry, we've been working on something. We've got a whole new Steez rod line that we're going to drop, and they're going to be $449.99 to match the travel rods. We rejoiced, okay? And they are all in. So all models, I believe there's 16 models between casting and spinning. They're all in stock. So I'm just going to fly through a few of the ones that I've been impressed with so far. They all come with a Steez rod sleeve, which is why I wanted to keep that on there. But there's some models in here that you're going to expect. I'm going to first kind of start with some of the specs so you guys know, like, well, why is this one $450 and the other ones are $750, right? The first thing I want to point out is that this is an SVF Nano Plus blank, which is also the same as what the AGS was, only the AGS was the SVF Compile X Nano Plus, which is a higher modulus blank. So this is going to be a slightly lower modulus, but still very high. The biggest thing though is that they have gone with titanium SIC guides instead of the carbon AGS guides, okay? AGS guides, especially the Gen 2, were great, but they're incredibly expensive. So just the cost of the guide train is over $100 a rod. So just by going to the titanium guides, they're able to shave a huge amount off. And a lot of you guys didn't like the AGS guides. You know, if you step on them, they tend to crack and break. So this could give you a better option overall. All the casting are going to be one-piece EVA foam, so they've gotten away from that kind of high-end split cork. Okay, so you're going to have one-piece EVA foam. You're going to have custom air sensor reel seats, so very similar look to what's on like the Zillion rod, but they are slightly different. When I first saw them, I thought, oh, they have some extra Zillion seats, but no, they are custom built for these. Metal lockdown. And then each rod is kind of described as to what it was built and purposely built for. So Daiwa Japan came out here to build all these specific for certain things, and this is a wider rod offering than what AGS ever gave us. So the bottom contact rods in my hand is a 7.3 heavy. Traditionally in Steez, it's always been a 7.5, but a 7.5 is a little too long for a lot of guys. I actually prefer the 7.3. It shortens it enough to where it's not so squishy like the old 7.5. So that could be a really, really great option. There's a couple spinning rods that I love. There's quite a few spinning rods in the lineup now. On the spinning, it's going to be a kind of a more traditional split grip on there, but still staying with that EVA foam and still staying with that grip above the reel, which I do like. The multi-purpose Power Plus is a good one. It's a 7-foot medium. It's a really, really nice bend. It's got a stinger tip on there. So if you guys are strolling some larger baits or just want something really, really sensitive for the bottom, that could be a great one. There's also a designed forward-facing sonar mid-strolling rod in the lineup, which is nice. So it's a 6.9 light. It is very light, but kind of modeled after that Koya rod from the Steez Reel Control. So that's a very cool one. There's also a couple of unique ones in the lineup as well. The moving bait swim and bladed jig is a good all-around feel. Okay, so it's soft but not too soft. It kind of gives a little bit of that parabolic bend through it without being overly glassy. So I think that will be a hit. There's a bait finesse multi-purpose. There's two bait finesse rods. There's a vertical and a multi-purpose. The multi-purpose is going to be the whippier of the two, more designed for hard baits. You can see that it bends all the way down. It's 6'8", which is really nice for you boat guys that need a bait finesse rod to throw something like a karashi or, you know, a picro or something, some of those smaller baits. I think you guys really dig that. There's a glide bait rod that actually feels pretty nice. It's rated to 6 ounces. It's going to be able to handle like a canine great. But there's also a technical swim bait glide bait rod that comes in at 7.3, and it's 3/8 to 2 ounce, and it was built specifically with tiny clash in mind. Okay, so you know, any of that kind of 1.5 to 2 ounce bait really built for that. It's a little bit fast, I would say, but when you really kind of lay into it, it does give, and the fact that it's only 7.3 is kind of nice. So if you guys are fishing from shore, kayak, or even from a boat and you're just kind of target casting, it's nice to have that in the lineup. So I think you guys are really gonna dig this. Of all the rods I've used so far, I've liked them. The only one I'm not a big fan of is the frog rod. It's just too long of a butt. It's literally like 4 inches more butt than like the Teckel frog rod. So it just hits you the whole time. So I'm not a huge fan of that. Everything else I think is a home run. But check it out, for $4.49, it's a pretty amazing deal. That's the new 2025 Steez bass rods from Daiwa. They're clean, they're simple, they're easy, good price. So those are available now. All right, and just like that, we are done. I say just like that, but that was actually a lot of things. So if you guys have questions on anything we covered, of course, you know where to find me now. I am gonna finish this. I'm gonna drink this beer and I'm gonna hop on a plane and I'm gonna fly to go see my sons. They've been at summer camps all summer, so my oldest son Colton's gonna be performing all around Boston this week, so I'm gonna go check out and kind of be a groupie for a couple days. So if I'm a little slow to respond, don't sweat. I will definitely get to it. Of course, you can hit me up on Instagram anytime, which is why I put my handle in there. So if you have questions on anything at all, let me know. And again, all day today, it's birthday celebration day, so take advantage of it. If there's anything you want to scoop up, go ahead and I will gift you a nice little gift card for free. So cheers again to you guys for being here and giving me time on your Sunday mornings and, you know, putting up with a lot of nonsense. But it means the world that we have this community of people that love this dope gear, and there was some really cool gear today. So enjoy it. Again, you know where to find me if you have any questions, but if you get a chance this weekend, hug your family, catch a big fish, drink Corian if you can find it. I'm going to, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Until next week, peace for now, my friends. Later.